Hi guys. I promised you some read alouds, so I found this great one that I love called Miles and Miles of Reptiles. And it's very fitting since we've been talking about animal classification. I have a mammal one as well, but I think it's still in the classrooms, so I don't have access to it right now. But when we are able to get back into school, I'll make sure I grab it, so I'll be able to read it when we get home, okay? Miles and Miles of Reptiles. I'm the cat in the hat in my crocodile car. We're off to find reptiles wherever they are. We'll find lizards and turtles that travel for miles to see snakes, alligators, and real crocodiles. There are thousands of reptiles. I'll show some to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do. Let's see. Hopefully you can see these pages all right. Reptiles breathe air. This we know. Most lay eggs on land. Some slither, some swim, some run on hot sand. Some reptiles have teeth. Some reptiles have tails. All reptiles have skin that is covered in scales. You guys are so smart. First, let's meet some lizards. Count them and you'll find more lizards than all other reptiles combined. Lizards have eyelids that open and close. Most lizards you'll see on each foot have 5 toes. When lizards are hungry, some things that they eat are plants, insects, snails, and other types of meat. If lizards are eating meat, are they herbivores? Carnivores? Carnivores eat meat. There are all kinds of lizards. Would you ever think that there is a lizard that's known as a skink? We already know that. We were introduced to our skink about a week ago. This is a glass lizard. It looks like a snake, but call it a snake and you make a mistake. The world's biggest lizard is here in our wagon. It can grow 10 feet long. It's a Komodo dragon. I would not want to come across one of those. Reptiles are cold-blooded. We've heard this term before, but I have been told this does not mean reptiles have blood that is cold. It means that their temperature changes a lot. They get cold when it's cold. They get hot when it's hot. How do lizards get warm? Why, thank you for asking. They lie in the sun, and that is called, do you remember? Basking. When you bask in the sun, you go lay outside in the sun to get warm. Look at that lizard. He's enjoying some sunshine. Meet my friend the chameleon. Oh, I love chameleons. He's hiding right here. He changes his color when danger is near. When he's scared, he turns dark and he stays out of sight. But his colors turn bright when he's ready to fight. A chameleon's tail has a powerful grip. It holds on to things so that it won't slip. One eye can look one way while one eye looks the other. One eye looks at me, one eye looks at my brother. Remember we talked about that their eyes work separately from each other? So literally the left eye is able to look completely left. The right eye can turn and look to the right without having to do this. We have to move our heads to be able to look to the side, but not chameleons. They're lucky that way. On the Galapagos Islands, we'll see something new. Iguanas. They're lizards. Here's what they do. They swim in the waves, and when they are done, they crawl on the rocks and get warm in the sun. They have glands that strain salt from salt water, and then they sneeze the salt out from their noses again. I never knew that. I hadn't found that in any of my research yet. So it says up here, iguanas drink salt water, and then they expel it when they sneeze. And expel means to get rid of. These lizards are geckos. Aren't they pretty? They live in the desert, the rainforest, and even the city. They have pads on their feet that are perfect for gripping. They can climb up a wall, even glass, without slipping. It's like a superpower, kind of like Spider-Man. Why are they named gecko? Thing one and I know. Some chirp and squeak, and it sounds like gecko, gecko. Come meet some snakes. Oh, all right, help me get through this. When they move on the ground, the scales on their skin help them slither around. A snake's jaw is loosely attached on each side. This means it can open its mouth very wide. Do you guys remember why a snake would have to open its mouth so wide? Mostly because it swallows its prey whole. A snake smells with its tongue. He is showing us how. See it flick in and out? He is smelling right now. So they use their tongues to smell, and then when they actually are able to hold on and grasp their prey, they either squeeze it or they might inject venom, and then they swallow it whole. They don't have teeth to chew. How do snakes avoid danger so they can survive? Here are some things that help snakes stay alive. Snakes may have stripes, spots, or rings on their skin. They can hide in plain sight. Their skin helps them blend in. It's that word when they are able to use their covering, their body covering, to help them blend in, to stay safe from danger. Oh yeah, camouflage. This is what makes me nervous about snakes. You just never know where they might be. Some, like a vine snake right up here, can fool you and me. It looks like a vine hanging down from a tree. If you hear a rattlesnake's tail start to rattle, it means I might bite you, so you better skedaddle. Skedaddle means get out of there, run away. A cobra's a snake that's not very polite, and this is because of his poisonous bite. When it's angry, a cobra spreads out its big hood. If you see it, you'll know things are not looking good. And the hood is this part of the snake here. If you guys can see that, I'll try to zoom in at the end. Fangs hang from its jaw and punch holes in the skin. Then a poison called venom begins to flow in. I like this page a lot better. Now meet the turtles. Each one has a shell. This hard shell protects it and does it quite well. Turtles heat up in a nice sunny spot, then slide into the water when they get too hot. Because remember, they're cold-blooded. So when they're out in the sun, their body's getting warmer and warmer and warmer. So then they have to find some place cool to cool down. So they can either go into shade or slide into some cool water. Turtles are toothless, which means they don't have any teeth. So they cannot chew. They swallow food whole. That's all they can do. There's a lot of animals that even if they have teeth, they actually don't use their teeth to chew. Here is a tortoise. I happen to know this reptile eats grass and it moves very slow. It looks like a turtle, but I understand. A turtle lives in the water, a tortoise on land. About the tortoise, I discovered one thing. Each year of its life, its shell grows a new ring. That is so super cool. Kind of like trees. If you were to cut a tree and be able to, like in a trunk, and be able to look inside, you'll see rings for each year that it's grown. So cool. So remember, a turtle lives in water, a tortoise on land. Turtles have 4 legs, but sea turtles like these have flippers to swim through the water with ease. They lay eggs on land, and each mom somehow knows which beach she was hatched on, so that's where she goes. So where the mama was hatched from, she goes back to that same beach to lay her eggs. It's amazing. When the babies are hatched, the shells on their backs are so soft they are helpless if something attacks. We measured these babies. They're so very small. Their shells are just 3 inches long, and that's all. That long when they're born. And what they're talking about is because their shells aren't hard yet, and remember, the eggs are laid way up onto the sand, and they have to scurry as fast as they can down to the ocean, and on the way, there are always predators lurking to try to snatch them up off the sand. Run, turtles, run! Scurry, scurry, scurry! On the Florida coast, in a swamp or lagoon, you may see a crocodile swimming by soon. Crocodiles have sharp teeth, and they walk on 4 legs. Their feet have sharp claws. Their young hatch from eggs. There are crocs that can eat till they're filled up, and then it could be months, even years, before they eat again. Wow. And you can see how fat his belly is because they eat such a big meal. They're so full, they don't have to eat for a really long time. I wish that happened to me. I eat something delicious and I want to keep on eating it. Alligators and crocodiles look alike, as you see. That's because they belong to the same family. We looked at them closely, and here's what we saw. The gator's teeth hang over its lower jaw. So this gives you an idea, you guys. Look at his teeth. His upper teeth actually hang out over the lower or the bottom jaw. Where a crocodile, you can see that its lower and upper teeth actually just like when he closes his mouth, both sets stick up or down. They both live near water, and these reptiles glide by swimming their powerful tails side to side. And if you look at their heads like we did, side by side, a croc's head is thin and a gator's is wide. So the gators have the teeth, the upper teeth that hang over their bottom lip, and the gator also has, what does it say? It says the croc's head is thin and the gator's is wide. So the gators have the teeth that hang low and the wide snout or head. Huh, pretty cool. They mate in the water, then we understand the female comes out to lay eggs up on land, just like the tortoise, the turtles. She digs a deep nest, then she lays her eggs in it, laying 60 or so, about 1 every minute. So when she goes up to lay her eggs, she might lay as many as 60 eggs at one time. When the babies are hatched, this is how small they are. Each one weighs as much as Thing One's candy bar. Oh my goodness, and down here it says 1.73 ounces for a candy bar and 1.76 ounces for this little gator. Oh my goodness. They're tiny when they're born. They grow up to be so huge. Enormous. Reptiles are everywhere. Just look. You might see one down on the ground or up high in a tree. They come in all shapes and all colors and sizes, and you will discover they're full of surprises. The end. Well, guys, I hope you loved that miles and miles of reptiles because I think these books are fantastic. So I have a few more of them, and I can't wait to share them with you as we continue to do our units. And like I said, I'll find that mammal one too and bring it to you guys. All right, awesome. We'll see you for the next one.